Hey everybody, welcome to HabNormals. We have a kind of a short news topic kind of show. I used to do these little Habs news videos. It's kind of going to be like that, and we're going to end up talking about the lineup for opening night and our opinions on what it might be. I have done a video on that, so it's a little bit more, and that was a couple of days ago, so maybe my thoughts have changed a little bit on there because it is a kind of fluid situation. So with me, as always, my co-host down there, Matt
What's up?
Martin. How's it going, Matt?
Good, good. How are y'all doing tonight? Rick, how you doing up there in Quebec?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Shitty day though. It's kind of weird, cool,
Oh, it's not too
maybe
bad here.
rain
Not too
day.
warm. Good.
But hey, listen, it's a Sunday. It's not cold, and I'm free, so it's all good. All right, so we're gonna talk about like I said, a couple of things that just some kind of little stories that are out there. One of them is a stupid rumor that is out there that I think we can laugh about. Even though the player that they're talking about, I totally respect the former Hab coming back kind of thing, but I think it's funny and so we're gonna do that. So we're gonna lead off with this little kind of ditty, and let me just change a screen here a little
I don't know
bit.
if I would have use that word.
Well, I'm older than you, so it means something different, I guess,
No, I
today
know.
than it meant when I was younger.
That would have been the smartest choice, but we're cool.
Yeah.
I got you.
All right, so this is something that I saw out there. It says that it's the best NHL cities to live in. So since we are a Habs channel, and I am from Montreal, I'm here in Montreal. Montreal's number one on that list. Now, a lot of people in other Matt's from Boston, and you can see Boston's number 28. Is Boston a bad sports town though? No, it is definitely not. But that's not what this is only about. And some people
it's 1,000%. That 28th has to do with the traffic and the cost of living. 1,000%.
It's all the other.
Anyone knows what I'm talking about. If you've driven through the city, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, Boston is an expensive city from what I've heard. I've never been there, but it's an expensive city. So that's what this is about. So if you've seen this out there and you didn't really agree, as Matt is not one of them, but Cam on our other channel, we were going back and forth and he didn't agree. But it's about, according to Cardinal Report, I guess that's the source. It's about factoring in safety, cost of living, traffic, and climate in the city where the team is based. And, I don't disagree that Montreal is the best city that way, considering where
the traffic can get pretty bad. I've driven through.
I gotta say, it's kind of not great. But we're not
I feel like any of these cities, it's kind of like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's a big American city, and you're in Boston, right? So there's a lot.
Oh yeah, no, the traffic 1,000%. I mean, the traffic alone is why Boston's at 28. I mean, Jesus.
Listen, as bad as traffic is here, it's still better than a lot of those places,
right?
And it's either
like DC,
economic.
New York. That's why they're there too, because of the traffic.
Yeah, well, New York
mostly traffic and cost of living. I mean, Jesus.
You
gotta sell like organs to afford a place in New York, so like in Manhattan. Oh my God.
And for Washington, I think it's because of all the politicians there. You got to live with those pigs, so I think that's the problem. Seattle, I've never been to either. I'm curious. I guess it's
probably the rain.
I think it's an expensive city. New Jersey just sucks, right? I've never been, but I've not heard good things about. No, I shouldn't say I've never been to New Jersey. When I was a kid, my mom's mother lived in Garden City. Is that a New Jersey city or something like that? So we go to New Jersey every now and then. But I don't know where they play out of. East Rutherford or something like that.
I'm trying to think of where the Prudential Center is.
I know it's like right off the highway or something.
It's not in East Rutherford. I'm pretty sure it's in whatever. What's the cap? What? Not Trenton.
It doesn't matter. If we have to think about it that hard, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
For Boston, as we said, Chicago, well,
the traffic safety, depending on where you are, like this.
I've been to Chicago, and and I've been there. It's been a long time since, but I don't think it's any better. LA, it's LA. San Jose, I don't know. I heard
same thing. That Northern California.
I guess expensive, but I've heard San Jose is a really nice city.
Well, expensive, but being in California, obviously you got to worry about fires, and it's right on the water, quakes, things like that.
Anyways, are there any teams on there that surprise you where they are?
Not really, no.
Yeah, me neither. Not really. Although not Vegas right now. Did you hear how Vegas is empty? I saw somebody talking about it. They're expecting big layoffs. I wonder how that's going to affect the team.
Well, the thing with Vegas, and I've been there 3 times. I was just there this past.
Yeah, but it's not
a lot of
what
fun.
It was.
But if you go off the strip, there's some areas, man, you gotta like keep your head at 100 and 360 degrees
on a swivel.
There's some bad parts.
Yeah. But they're 10th.
Climate wise too.
It's super hot. Yeah.
Not only that, but like there's a big water issue. That's why
true.
My in-laws are moving back out. It's one of the big reasons. Like there's
but I mean,
you're gonna be out of water 10. In like 10 years.
They're number 10. It's not that bad,
right? But that's also Vegas because you can go to a hockey game and then go clubbing on the strip till God knows when. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons it's there. I mean, the traffic's really bad there. That's why you say you can just walk up and down the strip.
True. But you think there's a bias there? Was it six of the 7 Canadian teams are in the top 10?
Well, I think if they factor in cost of living as U.S. dollars, that's probably it too, because of the conversion.
Yeah, well, Vancouver's really expensive. Toronto's really expensive, so I guess
True.
That is it. And I imagine
Montreal's pretty okay. I know you live there, but I know it's pretty okay. It's not too.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's starting, but overall, even with climate, right? We don't have the fires. There's a lot of things we don't have happening here, even though we have other situations. But still, I agree with it. Even though it's I've got my complaints here, but yeah, I kind of agree. Anyway, I thought we'd look at that. Depending on where you're watching from, where your city, you agree with that?
I can't believe Buffalo's in the top 15.
Buffalo.
I've been to Buffalo when I was little.
There's nothing there.
I was there when I was little because my uncle was living there for work, and I even remember like Niagara Falls is the only place that I have pictures from that proves it. I was I asked my parents, I'm like, why? And they're like, you don't want to take pictures anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, it's not there's nothing. It's kind of a boring city from what I know. I don't think I've ever been to Buffalo, but I might have been once when I was really young. I kind of, I don't know, sort of have a memory, but I was too young to really know what that was like. But I just think it's interesting. Most of the Canadian teams are in the top 10. And anyways, like I said, if you're from one of these cities, let us know what you think about your ranking there. And whatever you have on that. Let's move on to something really interesting for Montreal fans. 2022 draft. Montreal took Juraj Slafkovsky first overall. Was kind of controversial. It wasn't mine or Matt's guy. I have to say was probably a little disappointed. Not totally unhappy. Knew about the kid, just wasn't my guy. And there were, whatever, who your guy was. And how do they rank 3 years later? Did Montreal get it right? Who got it right with who they picked? So there is a redraft kind of thing out there.
Foreshadowing.
So it's the I'll put. I don't know if I can put this too much bigger, but let's see if that works. So this is points leaders from the 2022 draft. And you can see Montreal got it right with Slafkovsky. Even though Logan Cooley is kind of right behind him, he was picked third. But still, right now, as we're looking at it, Montreal got it right. And then you look at Lane Hudson there in the third spot, and they got him at 62nd. You can now say, if anybody was thinking, he's not the steal of the draft, he's the steal of the draft.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it. Right? One full season, and he's third on that list already, and he's good. It's not going to surprise me at all, and I kind of think it will be that Hudson will be at the top of that list in just a few years. Right?
Yeah, no, I certainly in the realm of possibility. I mean,
Slav has a bit of a lead.
Crazy.
Slav has a bit of a lead, but it's not that big. So if Slav turns out to be like a, 60-point guy, I kind of think in a few years Hudson's going to pass him.
And I mean, even if Slav turns out to be like a 60, 65-point guy, I mean, he's on a line with a 100-point guy, I think, in a year or two in Nick Suzuki. And another probably point a game guy in Caulfield. So it's fine.
Yeah, I'm not knocking Slav. I'm not knocking Slav at all.
Great.
I love this. That proves the point that the kid's not a bust. Number one, not a bust.
He's also only 20 years old, so he's still got
21, I think now.
A ton of growing to do.
Yeah,
in terms of the way he plays the game. So I have no doubt in my mind that he.
But the
top line is going to be insane, like insane.
He's not a bust, as so many people were, still even he has a bad game, he's a bust. They still say it. So there's proof. And I kind of think it'll be those three guys, maybe in a different order a little bit, but those are the top three from the draft, I think, no doubt. Funny thing, Shane Wright, who was the guy that I kind of wanted, right? Seattle got it right, picking him fourth. I mean, as of today, it's not that he's got a huge lead on the next guy, but he's in fourth. That's really funny to me. Apparently,
yeah. I mean, and look, he was my guy too. He's kind of who I had penciled in. And I remember too, like after Slav got picked, I forget who went. Nemec who went second.
Nemec, yeah.
And then Cooley went, and then it was like, why is he dropping? But no, he's been solid with Seattle.
Yeah,
like I said, at the end of the day, like
it took him a couple of years.
I still think it's fine that
Yeah, I mean he's still really young.
On him for Slav. Like Slav, for me, I know going into that draft, Wright was my guy, but between him, like Cooley and Slav, like I was fine with any of them. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like I would have been fine with it.
I
but again, it shows, right? Those three guys are right there in that top four. And they're all great players, and they're going to continue to get better, right? It's awesome.
Yep.
I like that Kutagoche's up there too.
Yeah, well, because you know who hates that, right?
Just to drive Alex up a wall.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, at some point in his career, he's gonna bite the Flyers in the ass. I had that feeling when they traded him, even though like I wasn't happy with the way that went over, and I don't think anybody should have been, especially if you're a Flyers fan. But
that's right.
I think he's the type of player. I think at some point that's gonna bite Philly in the ass.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't want us. I mean, whatever you do, I don't know that they could have done anything that different, and it is what it is. But I agree with you. He's a good quality player. I just don't like the attitude he had.
Right.
But there's a few players that came into the league like that, and years later, whatever, they make up for it. So let's hope for the kid that he changes the attitude a little bit with his success, and and he bites the Flyers in the ass so that Alex's head will blow off.
I just, oh my God, that'd be something like I hope whenever that time comes, we're like doing a live stream, because that's going to be a reaction we're going to need to get on camera.
Oh yeah, we'll get that. That'll be a clip we use on social media.
It'll be sometime in the playoffs. It'll be like a game 7 in overtime. And if all the players on whatever team he's on, it'll be him. And you'll just see Alex go ballistic.
Yeah, 100%. A surprise on there for me, not that he's there, but I thought he had more points, was Frank Nazar, who I really like. I mean, he's a Habs killer. I think half those points come against Montreal. Right? You having trouble staying awake? No,
I'm good.
Right?
Yeah, he is a Habs killer. I like Nazar a lot too. I think he's he's kind of get that spunk, that kind of that spark in him. He loves getting in the corners, loves being physical. He's a fun play to watch.
Yeah, I thought he had more points. I was just surprised at the 27 points. I don't know why, but I really did. I guess because he scores so much, or part of the offense against us, that I figured for sure this guy has more points than that. But anyway, so that was like that. And then you got for Boston, for Cam, Poitras there. Kulich, who was like a really solid player too for Buffalo. So this list is really, 10 really solid players that came out of that draft.
Yeah, Minchikov, I think, is the only other D-man on this list.
Yeah, and he's a good
He is. He's rock solid.
Yeah,
I liked him for a couple of years now. He's a good player over there. I mean, Anaheim, if they can get management together, like fix that issue and the coaching issue. I mean, I think Anaheim's got some solid players there. They can really build something, but got to see what happens with management.
I saw somebody put together one of these kind of things, and it was ChatGPT saying like the most dominant teams over the next decade had 5 teams. First team was Anaheim. Montreal was third. But they had the ChatGPT, for whatever reason, thinks Anaheim will be a dynasty over the next decade.
Mm-hmm.
They got potential. There's a lot of good players there. But,
sure.
Like any team, Montreal included, you got to put it together over, and that's, if you think it's hard to build a team, it's not easy to get that team to that final, place, your goal. It's just as difficult kind of in every stage, but they definitely have the players and the talent there.
Absolutely. And I think honestly, like Poitras would probably end up higher on this list if the Bruins gave him playing time.
Yeah.
And we talked about this kind of before we started, but that's kind of the big thing with, I mean, just with Boston in general. Never, for whatever reason, when they have got kids like that they draft that show that potential and they could use them, they once again this offseason go after like bottom 6 bums, for lack of a better word, to fill the roster out when you got a kid like Poitras who could probably play solid, middle 6 minutes, even probably second line minutes, if I'm being honest. Because I think he has the skill there to do that, and they just don't play him there.
Yeah, if they don't do that this year with that kid, there's definitely something wrong. Now, you got the new coach in there. I would think Marco Sturm's smarter than that, and you'll see Poitras get a good shot this year.
I hope so. I mean, he's earned it. They had a cup. Merkelov, I think, should have been playing up with the Bruins a lot more than he did last season. Lysell too. I just think they've had players like that they don't call him up when they should, or they don't play him when they should, and they go out and sign kind of bottom 6 guys, and some of the that's kids can get disgruntled and leave if they wanted to. They go, listen, we should have been playing in the league the last 2 years, and we're not. Like, we're going to go somewhere where we get an opportunity. And I just worry that if the Bruins aren't smart, that not so much with Poitras, but there's other kids, like I said, Merkelov or Lysell, that could potentially happen with, and it's avoidable.
Yeah, I don't worry about it because I don't really like them.
I mean, me neither. I'm just to kind of play devil's advocate.
Yeah, I know.
That's just kind of what I worry about. Because they're entering a point where they probably should be playing those kids. Because I don't think they're really gonna be. I'll be honest. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs again this year.
No, but listen, considering the signings and, as you said, bottom 6 kind of guys, it kind of leaves the door open for these guys to maybe prove it, show them that you got it, and there's obviously guys that aren't better than you in those spots, and you should maybe be able to win spots. So I'm kind of seeing with the new coach, considering the guys that they have brought in, I think it's a good opportunity for guys like Poitras and Merkelov and Lysell. It kind of makes sense to me that if they're going to get a shot, it's got to be this season. Considering the cast of characters or players that they have this year on the roster. So. We'll see what happens. And if they don't, I don't, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it's Boston.
So what? All right. Speaking of young, talented players, here's a list of, and we'll talk about it for a few minutes, the Habs U24 prospect rankings. Anyway, so what do you think? Because, I mean, do you like the order that they're in? A surprise for me, and you could see whoever put this together. I'm not sure who it was. They really are high on Zurofsky.
Well, no, I think like we talked about in the last record. I mean,
amazing.
I think he should have been a first round talent. I don't know why he didn't go, and I think that's why the Canadians traded up, because they said, "Oh my God, he's still there. We gotta send a few picks." I forget who they trade, Edmonton maybe. Like, we can get him now. We're getting him now. You know what I mean?
Well, like I said, I had heard that he was going to be their 16th pick if they didn't make that deal. That's who they had for 16. So when he was still there I'm not sure, it was early in the second round. When he was still there, they went, yeah, let's make a deal here to get this guy. Also, they heard there were 2 other teams that were right behind that spot that they traded up for they heard were going to take him. So it was like, we got to move up there.
I mean, it's smart asset management because again, right?
Yeah. And look where he's ranked.
You were going to take at 16, you traded those picks to bring in Noah Dobson. And you go, oh my God, he's still there. We can go pick him, and it's perfect.
Yeah,
he could have worked out more perfectly, really.
And he must be well thought of to be, come right in, move ahead of Hage, even ahead of the talent. I mean, Fowler's a goalie, but I mean,
Fowler to me, I think is a little low. But again, I mean, if he's at 5, like it's just like I'm salivating thinking about how good these other, and we know about Demidov, we know about Reinbacher, we know about Hage, but Zarovsky, and it's, I mean, if you listeners, watchers out there have seen his highlight tapes, I mean, you can kind of see why he might be up that high. I mean, his puck skills are phenomenal for like.
Yeah, if you're high on Demidov. If you're high on Demidov from highlights and see how he stick handles and all that kind of stuff, you're going to fucking love Zarovsky.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's exactly what I saw that. I went, this is another Demidov.
Yeah, I mean, I had that thought too. Like, again, just watching the way he handles the puck. I mean, he's a premier puck handler. I don't know much else about his game, but yeah, I mean, if you can add hands like that again into your prospect pool,
And speaking insane. Now, that's a great segue into the next guy I want to talk about, and that's LJ Mooney. And like you said, can add hands like that. Everybody who's seen this kid says the same thing. Amazing. He's got the best hands in that draft where they got him this year. And I just saw a little video of Ados Koivu and Michael Hage talking about either answering questions, whatever. From fans, and one of them was about Mooney, and they both raved about the kid. They both played against him, and he's crazy good.
Oh yeah, I mean, I watched a lot of the tapes from Dev Camp, and I was like blown away. I was like, oh my God, like, how'd they get this kid so late? Like, and it's not just the hands, but he's got the speed to kind of keep up with them. Yep. And like we've talked about, he's basically he plays like Brendan Gallagher. Like he'll get his nose dirty. He'll get physical, but he's got the hands and the finishing of that Gallagher doesn't.
Yeah, imagine
like adding a kid with that type of skill set. I think is a rarity, and it's something that I think you need, especially in the modern NHL, like we've seen.
Yeah.
To win championships, you need guys that'll forecheck the lights out. And LJ Mooney is someone that I think can do that very well.
He does not have the size because he's small, but man, he has the skill of an NHLer.
The IQ too, I think. I think his hockey IQ is very, very underrated.
The only thing he's missing is size.
Yeah.
Because if he was 3 inches taller, he would have been way higher up in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Way higher up in the draft. Because where did we get him? In the 4th?
3rd or 4th round, maybe?
Yeah, this kid was probably a 1st rounder if he had size. Right? I don't see how he wouldn't have been picked.
No, he's got that skill. And again, right, like, we just saw on the last graphic, like, even kids like that don't really have the size, if they have the skill and the IQ, like we've seen with Lane Hudson and Cole Caulfield,
he's one of them.
It doesn't matter in the end. And if you go look further down this list, I look at Florian Jacki and I look at Hayden Papanakis, and those are guys that'll insulate those players, because those are guys that will beat the shit out of you if you do something dumb. You know what I mean? So
to me, Mooney is going to be an NHLer. I think so. He's got the skill. Everything I've read about him,
tenacity too. He's got like an edge to him. I was about to say, a Gallagher. Like he'll get in there. Like he's
got the attitude. If he has the drive, which sounds like he does, he definitely has the talent and skill.
Oh yeah,
and the skating. He's an NHLer. He's a future NHLer they got in the 4th round. Another one of those great picks that I think when he does hit and he starts to play in the NHL, you're gonna go. He's a steal. They stole this kid in the 4th round. That's what I think. So.
Yeah, I mean, like I look at that. I look at this rankings list, and I for me, I think 1 to 9, I can say you're at some point are playing NHL. Well, we know Demidov's already played NHL hockey, but the rest of those guys, like from Ryan Bacher down to Adam Engstrom, I think are all NHLers at some point. I do.
Yeah.
I think the skill set's there.
Might not be in Montreal because I don't see how they'll.
Actually, Cappy's already played NHL games too, so I can't really count him. But Fowler, we know for sure is going to be the Habs goalie.
But listen, even if they don't make it to Montreal, these are NHL players of the future, and they'll be playing somewhere. If not, Montreal will make trades and get whatever they, fill in for what they need. But these guys will make the NHL. That's my opinion, and a few of them on the back there. There's some good.
Ooh, we know Waz already played in the NHL. I mean, I like Vinny Roher a lot. He was I think 5th or 6th round pick.
Yeah.
And he's been skyrocketing up the rankings.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I like his game a lot. Atos Koivu too, I think might make the NHL sooner than later. I just like his attitude, and it's not just because Saku's my favorite player, his dad. But
if he has
like the way he thinks the game, I like the way that he skates.
If he has something like, if he's anything like his dad, yeah, you gotta like him.
Yeah. 1,000%.
In my opinion, anyway, Koivu was he wasn't my favorite overall, but boy, I love Koivu. I mean, how could you not like Saku Koivu? Like anybody who would say I didn't really like Koivu, really? Like why? What's wrong with you that you didn't like Koivu, right? I think anyway. All right, let's move on here. This is quick, but there's a reason because we're like number 2 on this next list. If I can find it right here. Top trades of the 2025 NHL offseason. Honestly, I'm going to tell you, you might think I'm nuts. I don't think the number 1 there, that pick, that should be farther down. For some reason, and I'm probably wrong, and it might be my bias against the Leafs that he's still touched with, I don't think that's going to work out as well as people think. That's all. Not that he's going to be horrible there or anything. I just don't think it's going to work out as well as people are guessing. That's what I think. Noah Dobson trade is number 2, and that's why I brought this up.
No, and honestly, I think this list too is from a talent perspective, from like what these players have already done in the NHL. Like I'm okay with Marner at the top there. I mean, he's a 100. I think twice he's scored over 100 points. So I get that. I get why he's there.
I get why
Dobson. Dobson. I think number 2 is all. I mean, he's another guy that's we know he can put up 70 odd points as a defenseman, as a puck mover.
Yeah,
solid in his own zone. And the thing too, I kind of noticed about this list is after Dobson, and I'm not knocking any of these players, but like to me, Marner and Dobson, I would put in that kind of an elite category.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. That they're the 2 biggest trades, the 2 biggest. Right. And listen, I won't deny the Marner trade, whether it works out or doesn't, was a blockbuster thing because of all that the hype and everything around it. I'm not saying he's not going to be good there. I just think that it's overhyped what he's going to do there. That's all. I could be wrong.
Could be right, but again, I think in terms of that, I do agree with this. And then again, like I think Keandre Miller is a good defenseman. But again, would I put him in the category with Marner and Dobson? No, I think those 2 guys are again right, like those top 2.
Well, I don't think they're putting them in the same category.
No. But I'm just saying though, in terms of the quality of player, like
right,
that those top 2 guys, that's elite player, right? And then you kind of go down to like Miller, Peterka, Zegras, Gibbs, Those actually, I like take those 3. Keep Miller, Peterka, Zegras will be, you're very good, top end guys. And then it kind of drops from there. But I like the list a lot. I really do. I like really all of these trades.
Yeah.
and again, but I think in terms of what's the word I want to think of? In terms of what if we were to re-rank this, in terms of what I guess was in terms of like a winner, right? I do think, again, I think it's a similar list. I'd probably put Peterka up with Dobson.
Yeah,
you got to look at what those like.
Yeah,
with what the Habs gave up, I mean that's easily they probably won the most, and then I'd have to go with Utah because they didn't give up much at all either to get a guy like Peterka.
No, that was a great trade, and Peterka has got such potential.
Oh yeah,
I think a lot of people underrate that trade, for what kind of the way I think the Marner trade might be a little bit overrated. I'm not saying completely, but I think a lot of people sort of underrate Peterka a little bit.
I agree. And even like the Miller trade, like I think Carolina did well with that trade. I think Philly did well with Zegras. Again, not someone that I would have wanted in Montreal, but I think he could definitely work out with.
I agree.
Philly. I think Detroit desperately needed a goaltender. I like John Gibson still. I'm glad he's finally out of Anaheim. I know he's been wanting out of Anaheim, I think, since I was in high school. I know it was when the rumors kind of started, like, yeah, he really doesn't want to play there. So
yeah, it's been a couple.
I like that trade there. Kreider, that's fine. Seelogs, I actually, for the future in Pittsburgh, I like that a lot.
For Seelogs,
and Marchman's all right. That's a fine trade for both teams.
And Kane, I don't give a fuck where Kane ends up personally.
Yeah, but I think in terms of value with what teams had to give up versus what they got back, I think Dobson and Peterka trades are without a doubt like A-tier winners in my opinion, because again the Habs, you give up 2 first-round picks, you give up Heineman, who's I think could be a really good kind of middle 6 NHLer throughout his career, but you get an elite one of the elite defensemen in this league is crazy to me. Like, and a right-hand defenseman don't grow on trees, and you didn't have to break the bank to get them. And then Peterka, the Utah gave up like a friggin' 3rd, 4th line shit bum and got a kid who could potentially be a top liner for them, for years to come.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree with that. Speaking of value, we're going to take a side here. Speaking of value, very valuable, great. If you drink coffee or tea or I got water in this. Think of getting a Talking Habs mug, and this is for our podcast too. It's just on the wrong side for me. Is HabNormals. So that's available when I'm off full screen at the link down below. It's also in the description. Plus the hat, HabNormals hat, logo on the front, Talking Habs logo on the back, and that is available at that link down there. And if you're a member and you might want to join, you get 10% off of your first order. I think it's 10%. Yeah, 10% off your first order. And another big point, the hats, the mugs, Canadian, made here in Canada. And you're supporting Canadian jobs. So, the t-shirt I've got on is not from that place, but check it out. Get your mug, be a member, and let's get back to the show. I did that all like off the top of my head. That wasn't too bad. But no. I don't know what to say now. I'm trying to do something. Hang on. There we go.
No, that was good.
I'm all embarrassed. I'm not I don't like doing that. I don't know why. I'm not the best salesman for some reason. And I feel weird about doing it, but I buy this stuff. It's really good quality, and join the club. There you go. Horribly written ad. That was a horribly written ad. Okay, awkward now.
Okay, I can. I'm a salesman in real life, so I can write the ads. I'll make them nice.
He can attest as well that was horribly written ad.
Exactly.
All right, let's go to
check it out down there. I'll have my own gear pretty soon as well. Have a trucker hat. We have those. We're gonna have running shoes too. You want to get out, get some running down, or just some casual around the house wear? We got that shoes for you too.
Yeah, I don't have it yet, so I can't show that. So that's why you guys. But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. Check out that all kinds of hats. I think there's 6 or 7 different mugs. And
we all drink coffee here. Get your coffee and your favorite HabNormals podcast.
Yeah, 3 different size mugs as well. This is the smallest one. Because I don't drink coffee. When I drink tea, I don't like a lot. So I got the smallest one. There's 2 bigger sizes than that.
I think the hot cocoa mug. In the wintertime, you want to snuggle up, watch the show. Why not?
And think about
the HabNormals hot cocoa mug
or Talking Habs one. Because there's like a whole bunch of them. All right, let's move on to the last little weird thing I've got here, and that's the stupid trade rumor that is out there. The reason I'm bringing it up is because it involves an ex-Hab coming back to Montreal, and I think it's a fake kind of thing. But what do you think of that? And I don't know who would be going both ways, but this here is put up. Analysts suggest trade to bring back former fan favorite and perfect fit for current Canadiens lineup. That is obviously Phil Deneau, and he's not coming back. But
no,
I should keep that up there.
I love Phil Deneau. I love watching him play here, but it's for everyone that knows kind of what happened after that run to the final. I know he and his wife were about to have a kid, and they, for whatever reason, they just weren't feeling it in Montreal anymore. And, that's why I ended up leaving. And I just can't see it working. I can't see him coming back working. But again, I love the player a lot. He's been solid with LA, and again, wasn't surprised by that at all. But there's no way he's coming back. It's and reasons why he left, and it's
it's
not gonna work.
Management is different now, isn't it? I mean, he left when in Bergevin's last season, right?
He did, but I think his wife, I don't think liked the city because the big reason was she didn't want to bring up their children in Montreal. That's why. And
that is the truth. That's what I read. They weren't. They wanted to have a second child at the time, and the wife said, "We're not having it in Montreal." So they weren't staying. So why would he come back? 3 years late? Like why? I don't think so. I love Phil Deneau too. Great player. He would be a great fit here. I think right now he could do the job for a couple of seasons at second center, I think, or third and be a premier checking third line center. But it's not happening.
No, and that's fine. Yeah. Fun fact, I'm pretty sure his head is made out of titanium because he is, of note, the only person that I've seen watching hockey get hit with Zdeno Chara's slap shot in the head and live.
When did that happen?
Oh, years and years ago. He got right in the back of the head.
I don't remember that.
He went down to block it, and he turned to kind of take it like off the back pad, but it went up and it hit him in the back of the head. In the helmet, thank God.
I don't remember that for some reason.
Oh, yeah. He got hit with Zdeno Chara's slap shot in the back of the head.
All right. I'm just going to be off camera for a minute, but I'm right here. And you got Matt's pretty face to look at and not have to see my ugly one. All right, so we're going to go to the main topic of discussion today, and that is the opening night roster. I'm going to remove this here. Where's my opening night roster thing? So this is something that was up on, I guess it's NHL.com put this up, a projected forward group lineup for Montreal. I don't really agree with this lineup, and it's not what I had when I did my video. But what do you think of this and where do you see the things that I see as wrong here?
All right. Well, I think we can all agree that first line is staying the first line. I get no issues there. Line Doc Demidov could potentially be a thing. But the glaring thing here is Alex Belduke's not a fourth line hockey player. He's not.
Right.
Or Zachary Belduke.
Zachary
he's playing probably second, maybe third line minutes, but from what we understand, they're having him work with a face-off specialist.
Yeah.
He could push for that second line center role, I think, in camp. But he's second, third line type of guy. He's not playing on the fourth line.
For me, I see on opening night, maybe he's on a third line wing. If he didn't win the job of second line center in camp, but man, he is not a fourth line winger.
No.
And I don't know how the NHL, who should be smarter than this, how the fuck did they put him there? What moron at the NHL.com put Zach Bolduc as a fourth line center? And how did they get their job? And if so, I should be able to get that job over that stupid person who did that. Right?
I hope it was. I hope it's not someone who might like run a team too in the future. Like God,
just like I don't get that. I mean, Veleno. Okay. For me, the glaring things here is I don't think Alex Newhook's going to play center. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they brought in Joe Veleno to be a winger per se, unless it kind of works out that way for other reasons. We saw Newhook at center while he was sort of adequate on that third line last year when he did play there. I think he did for a little while, or was the year before? I don't remember. But he's not a center on this team. He's a winger. So for me, I don't see him being a center. I don't think with the guys that are here, Anderson and Gallagher are going to be third liners this year. Even though I know it makes a really expensive fourth line and you don't really see that, I don't know how you could justify playing Anderson and Gallagher ahead of some of these young guys that they brought in. I don't see how you can justify that if you're serious about, well, we're going to try to make the playoffs. So, yeah, I see Newhook on a wing on the third line, and I see Veleno centering the third line. And then Bolduc, or quite frankly, if Bolduc beats out Laine as a winger, Laine takes a step down to the third line, and you're going to have Bolduc, Doc, and Demidov. I can see that.
But I don't think Joe Veleno even he might not even make that lineup. I think Owen Beck's got a real shot to make the team. If he does, he's probably playing center, third or fourth line.
So I wouldn't say
that's something you got to consider too.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that's wrong, but my reasoning is they brought Veleno in because I think they want Beck, Kapanen, Florian Xhekaj, those guys, and to take another year to develop,
which is fine
because they're
Joe
serious
Veleno's
about that. Guys,
a fine depth center. Like they're not third or fourth line center, it'd be okay.
They're not rush player type of management anymore. So, those three guys I mentioned, they're still really young. Why'd you bring Veleno in then? If you really thought that. So I think, yeah, it's possible what you said could happen, but I really think you got to look at Veleno's experience. He does have 5 or 6 years in. He's a bottom 6 kind of center. That's where he's going to slot in. My opinion. Obviously, these are my opinions. I have no knowledge.
I agree with you. I think, but even still, right? Say like Owen Beck surprises and he wins a job. Like you get Joe Veleno for a year at the minimum. Like that's still not a bad option in case someone gets hurt. Like
not at all.
I think that's the other big reason Joe Veleno was brought in. Like he's younger, he's got experience, and if somebody gets hurt, he can slot in and he'll be fine.
And listen, if Beck by near trade deadline time, if they feel, Beck is ready, we got to bring him in. Well, then you waive these guys like Veleno and there's another guy I was thinking of, and Sammy Blais. You can waive them and whip them out and bring these guys up. But I think to start the season, I think they're going to let the other guys develop a little longer. I really do. I'm going to put up here what I had. So this is what I had for it. Line 1 doesn't change. This is opening night, right? So I did a video. It's for an opening night roster. Obviously, during the season, things change, and who knows? In game 82, if you end up with what you started at, right? You're not going to. So as you see, basically what I said, I got Newhook, Veleno, Bolduc as a third line, and you got that expensive fourth line. But you know what? That's not a bad fourth line. You got 2.
No, that's a fourth line I really wouldn't want to play against either.
Right. And you got 3 and 4 who can do the same kind of job, being physical and that kind of play, right? And score a little bit. All 4 lines can score. And the problem last year for Montreal, not enough secondary and like hardly any tertiary scoring. I think in a lineup like this, that changes.
Right, and I agree with you. Like, Bolduc could end up winning a job on the second line, like in camp. Yeah, like, I don't think that's out of the question at all.
And then you knock Doc back to a wing on the third line, or centering the third line. You move Veleno over to the wing.
Yeah,
it still works out good if you ask me.
No, 1,000%, 1,000%.
So I think there's a lot of good options there. This is how I see opening night for Montreal. Let me just remove.
Did NHL.com go look at the defense too and the goalies? Or?
I didn't find that, so they might have, but I didn't come across it. So let's get over to the defense.
Be sick.
Well, let's get to the defense. We'll talk about it. So this is what I had in my video, and it's controversial. A lot of people don't see Matheson, Dobson together. Hudson can play with almost anyone. Gooley actually is a guy that can play with almost anyone. And then you got, for me, Struble and Jack-Eye, and then Carrier third line. Now, you could put a lot of different combinations here. This is how I see it. Matheson, not a third pairing guy. So, and neither is Gooley. And I've seen people say, well, you got to play it like that. No, Matheson and Gooley, not third pairing guys. So where are you playing Matheson? I don't mind playing him with Dobson. Why? Both players are underrated defensively. They're not the greatest. I'm not saying that, but they're underrated defensively. So I don't think that's a problem. Both guys can move the puck, and both guys can contribute to the offense and play in the offensive zone. And you want that. Listen, is that bad for first pairing? I don't think.
I mean, you really have that in both pairings. And for like, I know Gooley's not as offensively talented as those other three guys, but Gooley can still do his,
That's right.
He can do his thing in the ozone. Got a good shot on him. But I think too, I mean, you could swap those pairs if you wanted as well, and have like Hudson Gooley as the first pair.
It's
those four guys could, like, in theory, any combination could be, in that top four.
Yeah, but my thinking for Hudson, who has played a little bit with Gooley and it worked. Gooley is the defensively probably the best of those four up top. Gooley is the toughest of those four up top. And Gooley can play with those guys. He can play in the offensive zone. His skating is good. All that stuff, he fits the bill. And I think I want that tougher guy in Gooley with Hudson.
Yeah, no, I think that's fine. Like I said, I mean, I don't have an issue with any combination of those four. But yeah, for me, I think Gooley's either playing with Lane Hudson or with Dobson. Although I didn't really like Hudson Matheson, so I do honestly kind of prefer what you have here.
Hudson Matheson not happening.
No, yeah. No. So I kind of prefer what you have here. I like that. And then even on the third pair, like Struble or Jack-Eye with Carrier would be fine. Like, that'd be solid.
Yeah. And if Carrier gets hurt on the right, well, Struble can play the right side.
Right.
So you're fine there too. And then I've seen people putting Struble up with Dobson. I go, well, but Struble's not a first pairing guy. Sorry, he's not. So you're not putting Struble in the first pair. No. And then
sparingly though, like if there's an injury or something, like if he needs, you could slot him there if need be. But no, on a regular, healthy, these guys are your defensemen. I agree. I think Struble is your third pairing guy with Carrier. Or Jack-Eye, any of those guys. But again, I think top to bottom, like from what we've had in the past, this is solid. Top to bottom, this is rock solid. You have Dobson and Hudson as your elite kind of puck moving guys that'll kind of get play, keep play fluid, I think is a good word to put it, right? Because they can get the puck and get it out in a snap up to those forwards that we have, and the first line and second line now that be able to do stuff with the puck. And on the power play too, like you can split Hudson, like have Dobson kind of be the quarterback of that second power play.
Yeah.
And that second power play is going to be even better now.
Oh, that second power play is going to be much better than it was. And the first power play is going to be better too, I think, so I think our power play is going to improve, and it wasn't bad last season. I just wanted to say one more thing that I saw out there. Someone putting Dobson and Jack-Eye together. And I went, but Jack-Eye's not you're playing Jack-Eye on the first pair? You're going to get in trouble with that. And I love Jack-Eye, but Jack-Eye's not a first pairing defenseman.
No.
So just a couple of funny things that I saw out there. But yeah, I like this lineup as far as defensemen. And you're keeping Matheson. And you notice who's not on this list. David Reinbacher. Now that could change. David Reinbacher could win a job in camp. I feel that if Reinbacher wins a job in camp, they're going to move Matheson then.
Right. But even still, right, if he needs a little more seasoning, you're safe. You're fine.
You're safe with Matheson.
You're not going to lose anything or gain anything, even if he needs season. Well, you'll win something because you get him to season up more, and he'll be even better when he finally makes his NHL debut. But you're safe. It's still solid pairs 1, 2, and 3. Again, right? Matheson, Dobson, Hudson. Every now and then, they'll have a miscue, but especially Hudson and Dobson, what they're going to give you in the transition play and in the O-zone,
make up for it.
I don't care.
Yeah,
because they're going to make up for it tenfold. And again, they're very underrated if you ask me in their own end. I think Hudson and Dobson are solid in their own end.
Listen, Matheson is underrated in his own end too, but last year he was not played like, I think, necessity. He wasn't really played in the right role.
Right.
That I think this kind of fixes up, in my opinion.
No, I agree.
I think you're going to see a good, solid Matheson. And I want to have Matheson here if Reinbacher doesn't make it out of camp.
Right. And I think having Matheson next to a guy like Dobson, too, can kind of take away kind of everything Matheson was asked to do. You know what I mean? Like Matheson last year was asked to be that second go-to puck mover. I don't really think he needs to do that much now.
No, he's not that guy.
Lane Hudson.
He's not that guy. Dobson is that guy.
Focus more on the defensive aspect of his game and not have to worry about being the transition guy. And I think that just helps Mike Matheson.
Because Dobson fills the role that they kind of wanted Matheson to be, that number one defenseman and, all that offense stuff. He's not really that guy. That's playing a little bit above his head. Dobson can do that. So Matheson has a bit of a different role playing with Dobson that I think works better for him. So I think that's why I've got him there,
But again, like you could flip those pairs and have Hudson Gooley be that top pair, and it's the same thing, right? In a way, like again, because Hudson's your first pair puck mover, and Gooley's the defensive guy that will staple you to the boards. So
there's just the two guys I don't want Hudson playing with is Matheson and Dobson. Why Dobson? It doesn't make sense to put the two of them on a pair. Doesn't make sense. And Matheson and Hudson doesn't work. They tried it last year. It doesn't work. So that's another reason why I have it the way I have it.
Yeah. No, I think but again, too, like you can play matchups with those guys as well, right?
Can.
Like if you're playing a team that say, all right, these guys are pretty slow in transition, or, they're just slow in general. You could like Hudson Gooley could be a great first pay to throw out there because you can take advantage of that. Or if you're playing, a team where you maybe want to insulate Hudson just because maybe they play very, extremely, physical, and, you can put Hudson on that second, Gooley Hudson as the second pair because they're not dealing with a lot of that, most of the game. Like Marty St. Louis can have a lot of fun with matchups, and I like that. It's versatility, I think.
That's right.
That just decor brings now.
But and
again, like you look at what you had to give up to make the decor like this, and it's peanuts. It's Justin Barron, 2 first-round picks, and Emil Heineman. And that's not in a bad way. That's just saying, like, you only had to give up that to get Carrier, who basically stabilizes everything, right, as that third pair right side defenseman, and another elite puck mover in this league. It's crazy. Plus the deals that Kent Hughes was able to make that defense possible. Now you can focus everything on that second line center, and then you're off to the races. Because goaltending solidified.
Plus,
from Monty to Dobish to Fowler, goaltending is fine. You don't have to do a damn thing, in my opinion, to goaltending. You can let that just season.
Oh, yeah.
Like, goaltending's fine. I think defense is on the right track. Pretty solidified. Again, it's just really what do you do with Mike Matheson when Reinbacher makes whatever that is. It's really the only question I have. Yeah, it's just really
that. Listen, on defense, there's a lot of options there. And I mean, what I mean by that is last year, Hudson played with a few guys, right? Who was he playing well with? before Gooley got injured. I believe they played, and that worked. But he also played well with Carrier.
Jaden Struble. He and Struble were very good too.
And Struble. So Hudson has some options of who he plays well with.
Right.
So,
and again, you can dictate that based on matchups. Like if you want to pair him with somebody who will, again, right, if you're playing a team like Florida who's going to be very physical, who likes to throw hits, compare him with Jaden Struble, who's going to beat the shit out of anybody that takes a run at him.
There's six defensemen.
There's different matchups that you can work there, and I like that a lot.
There's 6 guys on this list that can play in the top 4. In my opinion, right now, there's only one that can't, and that's Jack Guy.
Right.
I don't want him in the top 4. Don't think that's the right role for Jack Guy. But the other 6 can be mixed and matched in some way. Some guys don't work together. They've tried it already. You don't do that. But there's lots of great options on this defense. And I think that's what a lot of people don't see in what they did is there's a lot of great options. And if you remove Matheson from this right now, some of those options go away. And I don't think that's beneficial.
Right. No, I think you're right. And looking at that, because I was kind of, and I mean, maybe a little still on that train of, all right, now you can move Matheson. But I agree with you. Like, you keep Matheson, like, yeah, I think you're better off, especially if Reinbacher needs a little more seasoning. I see that now. Again, especially seeing what you have there and kind of looking at the pairs. Like, again, like I go, whoa, you're actually more versatile now. Yeah. Like I said, you can exploit matchups. You can insulate guys if need be.
That's right.
And now you also have 2 power play quarterbacks. So the power play, because not only did they make the defense better, you bring in Dobson, you just made both power play units that much better now because now you can't key on either one because you have guys that can quarterback those.
And a big point on this is guess who doesn't have to be a quarterback? Matheson.
Right.
Because that didn't really work here.
No.
Right? It didn't. And a lot of people complained about that. So if you're hating on Matheson a bit because of that, well, guess what? He doesn't have to do that anymore. And that's part of what I'm saying about he being a better role for him to be successful with what's here. So yeah, Matheson's got to stay, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and I can't believe that the Habs management doesn't see it that way.
And you got to think they probably were thinking about that too, in some way, shape, or form, in the back of the mind.
Well, for sure they have. For sure they were. I mean, now we'll go because I think we hit on everything. I didn't touch on the goalies in my video. It was a combination of I didn't feel that I needed to, but I also forgot. To be very honest, I did a video, and as I was editing, I realized I didn't touch on the goalies. But
you got to think about what I just said.
Right.
What do you have to do?
What do you have to do?
Goalies 1, 2, and 3 are solidified. It's Montembeault and it's Dobish until Fowler's ready. And when Fowler's ready, it's Fowler's team. Like I think that's everybody's in agreement on that.
But I think the point for what I was making is I think some people anyways are thinking that they acquired Kapanen because he's going to play as a backup, but not in Montreal. I don't think. I think Kapanen's going to.
They acquired him to back Jacob Fowler up.
Yeah, I got to believe
that's what when I saw that I said, all right, that's Fowler's backup.
The only thing
on an emergency basis, yeah, you could put him in the NHL. I hope that doesn't happen, but again, you have that option there. Now Jacob Fowler can go out and play more in Laval, and you have a guy with experience behind him to
mentor him, which is awesome. I think
that's what that's what that move was about.
To start the season, though, so opening night, it might be Kapanen as the backup, and why do I say that? Is because of waivers, right? Kapanen doesn't have waiver options, and he has to be I'm sure he's on an NHL roster, not on the Laval roster, so he has to be able to be moved down. They might do it ahead of time. I don't know, but that's a possibility that, since Dobish has waiver exemptions at the start of the season till they can figure it out, they might have to have Kapanen as the backup. I don't know. But I think for the bulk of the season, it's going to be Monty and Dobish. Monty's the starter. We'll get the bulk of the starts, and Dobish will get, 30 starts, somewhere in that area.
Yeah. And they're both solid goaltenders, I think. And now I'm glad that, a lot of analysts, are saying it too, that Sam Montembeault might be the most underrated
goalie. Yeah. About time that people.
In front of him now, too. The defense is going to be better in front of him.
It's about time, though.
Goals in front of him. I mean, we saw what he can do when the defense plays competent in front of him.
Yeah. He could be fantastic. And listen, we've been on Monty's good, on Monty as a good goalie for a while. It's nice to see finally NHL people, and it's out there like he's underrated, like we've been saying, and people have been laughing at us. I guess we weren't that funny, right?
Well, no, but the thing is, like, is he? He's not in that upper echelon of star goaltenders, but he's a solid NHL starter that can play solid and give you a chance to win every game you're in, and he can steal games. I mean, the skill set's there, the reactions are there. We've seen him do it. He's a goalie that gives you a chance to win every game, I think. And I think Dobish is that way, too, as a backup. And his starts, I think he still gives you a chance to win hockey games. And that's all for me, that's all you can ask for your starting and for your NHL goaltenders. If game in and game out with those guys, you have a chance to win.
That's right.
That's fine.
I'm going to make a hot take right now. Sam Montembeault at the end of the season is a top 10 goalie.
With what's in front of him?
Well, I think it's possible, part of it, right?
Probable?
That's part of it.
I don't think it's probable, but certainly possible. Absolutely.
I said it's a hot take. It's not. I'm not saying it's, but it's a hot take. I feel that Sam Montembeault has the capability.
I think it's. I think it certainly could turn out that way.
He has the capability to do it. It has to break right for him a little bit, sure. But I think Sam Montembeault, if he's not a top 10 goalie at the end of the season, he's not far behind, and I think he's definitely a top 15.
I agree.
And we've seen it. His goals saved above expected is top 10.
It's been like top 5 at points.
I think he did finish top 5. So he's capable of being a top 10 goalie. He just has to, the better team in front of him. His numbers all around that are going to change and should improve. And that's why I'm saying that.
Right. And I mean, look at his numbers from I think last year was a .902 save percentage.
Which is
and like a
no longer 920s,
maybe 289 goals against, which are solid numbers,
right?
And I think that's, like you said, with what he's got in front of him now, adding Dawson, another year of Lane Hudson, some more stability there again, right? Last year they didn't start the year with Carrier,
and
it was Barron.
That's right.
Start the year with how stable the defense is going to be. Like those numbers make a difference, and those numbers are solid, respectable numbers.
Right, and then if you improve on that, that puts you in the top 10. That's why I'm saying at least the top 15. And I don't think that's laughable to say.
And I think you have a backup goaltender too that I think, again, as a tandem, they might be a top 15 tandem. But I think Jacob Dobish is no slouch backing him up.
That's right.
We've seen what he can do. He's a fine backup goaltender now, and
he still has some to prove. But I like the combination, man. I like that tandem.
And that's, I mean, he's still on the younger side, right, Dobish? And I'm not saying that he's like a world beater backup, but because I agree, there's stuff he needs to work on. But for what his job is, he's solid.
He struggles. You know what? Kakkonen as a backup, not as bad as I think a lot of people think. If you look at his numbers aren't that bad. So if you put him on a good team with a good team in front of him, I think he can do an adequate job at worst as a backup here if he has to be brought up. Or if he stays, and Dobish has to spend some time in Laval, I don't think it's a bad. I don't think it's a bad move to have signed him.
I mean, for me, in my opinion, I think the Habs are 4 goalies deep right now.
Yeah, right. For NHL quality. Kakkonen might not be the best, but he's an NHL goalie. You got to look at his numbers. I wouldn't have thought that either, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. But then when they acquired him, I looked at his numbers and I thought it's not that bad.
Right. And again, right, you're bringing him in to back up Fowler and Laval, and if need be, back up Montembeault in the NHL. Like that.
Right.
It's fine.
And listen, Monty played
Jacob Dobish and Jacob Fowler, who were both exciting young goalie prospects. And again, I mean, I think it's without a doubt, Jacob Fowler is going to be the guy here.
Yeah.
Once we're in that mode of, all right, we're making runs.
Yeah.
But even still, like Jacob Dobish is a solid young goaltender.
Oh yeah. And I love his attitude. I love his attitude. He said after they acquired Kakkonen that his whole hockey career, he's had to prove himself every year and fight for the job. And he has no problem doing that. And he believes he is good enough to fight for that job and he's got all the confidence in the world. I like that attitude. He's not pissed
Jacob
off
Fowler
that
is
he's
the
got
same
to
way.
compete. It's he's no attitude about having to compete after he put up a pretty good season. Like, I like that attitude.
Right, and all four of them are like that. Really, like Monty's like. I mean, we know, and again, like Jacob Fowler, I think just goes without saying. Like he's gonna be the guy.
Yep.
When the time comes, but until then, like you're still solid. You're 4 goalies deep. Like, you don't have to touch the goaltending.
And if they don't move Carey Price's contract,
that is happening. I think right as soon as the season starts, that's out.
Yeah, well, I think they have to do it before. But
it's something to do with bonuses being paid.
Yeah,
I think you get a bonus that has to be paid right before it starts.
Yeah,
right around there. Once that happens,
he'll be gone because then the team only has to pay him $1 million.
Yeah,
like there's no money there. So, but once his contract is gone, because right now it's considered a goalie, right? So we have the most, if not the most expensive goalie tandem in the league. It's right there, but really, in reality, we've got 2 solid goalies. And if you say when Kakinen is in the lineup, you got 2 goalies that it's under $5 million for the 2 of them.
Yeah.
And like that's pretty good. And Carey Price being there, that's it's just because they have no choice. He's got a contract. So I think the price they're paying for their goalies, and I think what you're getting from them, I think it's pretty good value.
I think it's great value.
I
mean, you're paying Montembeault what, $1.5 million?
No, I had that wrong. It's 3.15.
But still 3.15, and he's putting up .902 save percentage, 2.8 goals against. And then what he had in front of him,
you had Dobich getting 9 something, so it's under 5. And if it's Kakinen, he's getting 1 point something. It's under 5. Either way, whatever. That's good value for your goalies when you're getting performance.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, if you're any goalie that you on your team that you can put in right now, right? Like they have, you're paying under $5 million for all of it, and all those goalies give you a chance to win when they're in the lineup.
Yeah,
that's great value.
That's awesome value, and Montreal that's why they're going to be in the playoffs. And I know in both our opinions, this is a playoff team. It's not a contender yet.
And look, there are goalies in this league on rosters that I wouldn't be comfortable with putting in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's
Philadelphia.
Seriously, there's goalies on NHL rosters that I could look at and say, yeah, you put them in, you might be in trouble.
Carolina has Primo now. So
maybe. Again, I just haven't really seen him play, but I look at Dobich and Montembeault and I go, no, you put them in any game they're in. Yeah, no, we can win that game.
Yeah.
I'm not scared.
You're not worried.
Yeah, you look at Philly, Earson.
You got confidence night in, night out.
Yeah.
Sure, they do have a bad game here and there, but you don't look at it and go, Dobich is in nets. It's not like that.
Right.
You're confident, and it's a big difference. And it's a good difference to have. All right. I think we covered everything. Before we go, though, everybody, if you like what we did here, give a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And please let us know in the comments what you thought about all this stuff. Who you think will be in the lineup as opposed to who we did. And all the other things we talked about. What do you think? Let us know in the comment section. We'll be back next week to do another episode and talk about something that's going on in Habs world. And hopefully you'll be back there with us. So look for that. And I don't know. You got anything to add before we go?
No. I think we had a good chat, and I love doing this. I love doing this with you. I love doing this for the fans, and I can't wait to keep it up, man. I'm glad that HabNormals is back, and I'm excited. I don't think I've ever been more excited for a season to start. I think we kind of felt that way last year, but I think even more so this year with what's been brought in. With
we got more confidence
of playoff hockey. It's like this team is really on the up and up.
We got confidence.
It's a great journey, and
we got.
Glad I'm doing. Again, glad we're on this journey together, and we're on this journey with the fans, and I hope more fans join us because this is an exciting time to be a Habs fan, man. Like
it is.
Last time I think people were this excited where you were in diapers, back in like the 70s.
last year we were super excited and all that, but it didn't play out. But this year, like you say, after the playoffs, after the guys brought in, we're confident of making it back to the playoffs. I am, and the excitement is just crazy and ramped up. Wait till we get to training camp and how once we see the product and how excited we're going to be for the start.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be crazy. So hopefully you'll be there with us for all of that. And just thanks for watching this week. Really appreciate it. Till next time, stay safe out there. Peace out, everybody. And we will see you next week. And you never know, maybe somewhere else in that time as well. All right. Have a good rest of the week, and we'll see you soon. Ciao, everybody.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.